Now, today's story is one you know well, and I've picked it because I want you to practice really hard using your listening ears today. Because every time you hear me say one of the words in the book, we're going to do the sign for the word. The word I'm going to pick is a colour, and the sign is you touch your lips. That's it, just like that. So if you've been out and about, first of all, before you do this, you need to make sure you've washed your hands because we have to make sure we've got really clean hands if we're going to touch our faces. Okay, so make sure you've washed your hands first. And remember the sign for red, which is going to be our key word for listening to today. Touch your lips because our lips are the sign for red. Okay, so the story we're reading is Little Red Riding Hood. So you see we've gone from left to right and we're reading the words. Little Red Riding Hood. And every time I hear them say the word red, and you hear it, you're doing listening, you gotta touch your lips. Okay, I'm gonna help at the beginning and then I'm just gonna pause and let you do the action. So I will know if you're listening or not. Because every time I say red, remember you're gonna do what you're gonna do? Well done. So this is the story of Little Red Riding Hood. Once there was a little girl who loved to wear the colour red. She had red shirts, red skirts, red shoes, and a fabulous bright red cloak. And her name was, you shout it out? That's right, Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, from now on, I'm just going to pause. You've got to remember to touch your lip every time we say red. How many red things she's got in her room, though? She's got red socks, red welly boots, and even a red woolly hat. Early one morning, Little Red's mother packed up a basket. I have a very special job for you, she told Little Red. Granny is feeling poorly. Will you take her some fresh fruit? Of course, cried Little Red. And she put on her favourite cloak and kissed her mum. Bye-bye. Oh, she's gone into the woods to find Granny's house. It was a bright sunny day and Little Red skipped through the woods. Good morning, she called to the rabbits and the deer. I'm bringing Granny a special surprise. But someone was peeping from behind a tree. Is this someone? A big, hungry wolf. Good day, growled the wolf. What are you doing in the woods all alone? I'm taking this special basket of fruit to Granny, Little Red replied. Yep, thought the wolf. He didn't like fruit. He liked to eat tasty little girls. So the wolf thought of a plan, a horrible, clever plan. Why don't you pick your granny some wild flowers? That'll cheer her up. Oh, said Red, good idea. But as she started gathering daisies, the wolf raced down the path. Granny's house. What's he going to do to Granny? The wolf knocked on Granny's door. Is that you, Little Red? called Granny. Yes, squeaked the wolf. Let me in. It's breakfast time. Oh, goody, said Granny, opening the door. What are we having for breakfast? You, cried the wolf. said Granny. "You're not Little Red." And she slammed the door, bang, right in the wolf's big furry nose. "Ow!" said the wolf. Quick as a flash, Granny ran out of the back door and into the woods to find help. Granny's very sporty. "Horrid old Granny," the wolf growled, rubbing his nose. But now he could put his terrible plan into action. You see, he's getting Granny's clothes on. So when Little Red knocked on the door, it was a deep, scratchy voice that answered. "Come in, my dear." Little Red walked into Granny's bedroom and stopped in surprise. Why, Granny, what big ears you've got!" "All the better to hear you with, my dear." And Granny, Little Red said, what big hairy arms you have!" "All the better to hug you with, my dear," growled the wolf. But Granny, Little Red, what big teeth you got! "All the better to eat you with, my dear," snarled the wolf, and he pounced at Little Red. Just at that moment, the door burst open. In rushed Granny with the woodcutter. "Stop right there," said Granny. "Put her down now." "Or we'll chop you up," bellowed the woodcutter, "and turn you into a birdhouse." With a terrified howl, "Howl!" the wolf jumped out of the window and ran far, far away, never to return. Little Red hugged Granny tight. "I'm so glad you chased that wolf away," she said, and she gave Granny the basket of fruit. "What a day of excitement!" laughed Granny. "Now let's all have breakfast." And that's the end of the story. Can you remember all the people that were in the story? And did you remember every time you heard the word red to do the sign for red and touch your lips? I wonder. Let's see if we can remember all the people in. We know there was Little Red Riding Hood. Who was the lady at the beginning that gave her the fruit for her granny? Her mum. So we've got Little Red Riding Hood, her mum. Who was the baddie in the story? Big Bad Wolf. And then who came to save the day? Woodcutter and Granny. So we've got 5 people to remember in that story. So if you can find a story, find a word in it that you've in there lots and lots that you can get someone to remember, and see if you can remember all the characters in the story. Enjoy reading. Bye.